Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I want to start this video with this tweet. This is from Mark Phillips. You may remember Mark Phillips. He is the guy who is famous or infamous for writing that article about how XRP was made to be at $10,000. I don't remember the exact wording of it. You ought to look that up on Google if you've never seen the article. It's a good one. And I met Mark. He's a nice guy. I met him in Washington, D.C. at the one of the Link2 meetups. Really good guy. He also gave me a poker chip with a Ripple logo on it that I keep in my car or in my pocket. He said it will bring me luck. I hope he's right. He had tweeted this out. China's developing a CBDC, programmable, probably gold-backed. Is working with BRICS on a SWIFT alternative and has a deal with Russia to trade in their national currencies, not using USD SWIFT. This insulates against sanctions. What does it mean for Taiwan and Indo-Pacific? A lot going on. All it takes, this is me, all it takes is one country to create a gold-backed CBDC, folks. Then the dominoes fall because nobody will want to hold any currency that isn't backed by gold. Why wouldn't they? Why would you want to have US dollars if there was a currency that was gold, that was backed by gold? Who would want to do that? Nobody. If they could trust it, they wouldn't want to hold anything else, folks. This is why I keep talking about my sponsor, Glint, and they tweeted this out today. This is what you can do with Glint that you can't do if you own physical gold even. On your travels, don't forget your Glint card so that you can save on bank fees while you spend, as well as being able to choose to pay in gold for only 0.5% when traveling abroad or for free in your own country. I got a link at the top of the description to Glint if you're interested in checking them out. Now listen, look, folks, if a gold standard is brought back, do you know what in my opinion, gold has been suppressed in value for years and manipulated because of all these ETFs and all this stuff. Folks, in my opinion, gold should be valued much higher right now, is worth much more than the price. Just like how the government manipulates the inflation numbers so that they're in line with what their goals are. I think they do the same with gold to keep you from owning it. That's why I do own it. Crypto exchange blockchain.com faces $250 million hit on loans to Three Arrows Capital from CoinDesk. There's a lot of interesting things going on right here now, folks. Embattled crypto lender Celsius is a fraud and a Ponzi scheme, lawsuit alleges. This is from CNBC. I'm trying to get through a lot here. Breaking. All debit and credit machines in Canada have gone offline amid nationwide Rogers network outage. And then there was this one, a massive nationwide network outage across the USA and Canada has shut all bank services, phone services, debit and credit machines, and much more offline. This is going to be big. Who knows look at this. I didn't see that. Look, there's the switch being flipped. That looks like an intergalactic currency switch being flipped. And then, of course, Gary Gensler is calling to all of you because his whistleblower program is so important to him. He's asking for any kind of whistleblower that knows of possible securities law violations. Now, those are only securities violations unless they involve Ethereum. If you're a whistleblower and you're blowing that whistle, nah, Gary's not interested in that. But don't worry, you can go down the list here of in his thread and look. There are countless numbers of whistleblowers about Ethgate in his thread here. And Congress, if you're listening, if you ever wondered what it looked like, since you're doing nothing about Ethgate, if you ever wondered what it looked like when the people of the United States have lost complete faith in their government, look no further than Gary Gensler's Twitter threads. All of them, any of them. Because this is what happens when your Congress does nothing, your SEC Inspector General does nothing, when no government agency is looking after the retail investors, and instead they're letting Gary Gensler gone wild and doing nothing but harming the retail investors that he so arrogantly claims to protect. Okay? Speaking of arrogance, watch this video from Stefan Huber.
Joe Lubin, who really was the guy that showed me that this was more than a speculative bet, that crypto really was a revolution. It was a revolution that was meant to bring transparency, a more egalitarian framework to financial markets, fairness, to really help rebuild the world, in a world that completely needs it. So thanks, Joe. And mostly I want to give a shout out to the Galaxy team. You know, chapter 2 of crypto for me has all been about Galaxy. We are working our tail off to be the bridge between institutions and the crypto community, and we're starting to see results. Last but not least, there's a genius in Indonesia who wrote Bitcoin Go to Moon. One of my favorite songs. You should all listen to it. I listen to it once a day. I'll be back after the tattoo. Stay tuned.
After the Luna tattoo, that is. Now, then there was this, caption this from Stefan Huber. It's got Joe Lubin and Mike Novogratz, and this is the Dan Moorhead, the CEO of Pantera Capital. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't think Dan Moorhead is a bad guy. I've watched a lot of video of Dan Moorhead over the years, and he has not approached the Ripple and XRP topic the way that Mike Novogratz has. Mike Novogratz has taken every shot that he could possibly take to act like XRP was bad while Ripple was good and all of that. I've never heard Dan Moorhead do that, so I don't have a beef there. Now here's a beef. I want to know, in what world is this guy? First, listen to this, and then I'll tell you my thoughts.
I think Gary's going to be fair. He's very smart. Bitcoin is going to get a free pass, and so that's great. I think Ethereum gets a free pass. That's great.
How does he know that? And if he does know that, which he obviously does, why do I not get to know, why don't I get to buy and sell cryptos with the information that Mike Novogratz gets to have? This is my question. Why is this guy not being investigated by someone? I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm not even saying that it's wrong, that it's technically illegal if he did do that. I'm just saying, why is nobody looking into it? If you or I was bragging about having information that the public didn't have, which is what you would have to have. Remember, this is the guy that said dimes to donuts 9 days before the Bill Hinman speech. Dimes to donuts. That they're going to say Ethereum was a security, but now it's not. Why? You and I would be investigated for that. Why is this man not only not being investigated, but walking around bragging about all of this stuff and going on CNBC, and none of them are asking him any questions? He went on CNBC bragging about how he had short XRP. My question is, if he has all this inside information about what regulators are going to do, I'm assuming that's what it sounds like. He acts like he knows something. If he has that information, did he have information? Did he know that the SEC was going to go after Ripple? And if he did he trade on that? Did he short XRP knowing that the SEC was going to go after Ripple? I think someone ought to ask him that question.
What's up in question is all the other issuance, DeFi tokens, the other protocols, and we're going to wait to see how he what his body language and what his first writings on that stuff are. Listen, I hope.
I mean, something really stinks, folks. Now, watch this. I've sandwiched a Charles Payne clip in between Gary Gensler to illustrate the absurdity of what we're living through. So let's start it out. Watch this.
You mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. You should see the fines that Wall Street has paid since 2000. Bank of America, $82 billion. JP Morgan, $36 billion. Citigroup, $25 billion. Wells, $21 billion. Deutsche Bank, $18 billion. Goldman Sachs, $16 billion. And it's still a farce because no individual pays for committing anything. I mean, you would pay more for a petty crime. That might be changing. Jury selection began today in the U.S. District Court around this precious metals trading scam that stretched from 2008 to 2016. Prosecutors said that JP Morgan traders spoofed the precious metals market, right? They would place these trades and quickly cancel them, but they drove up the price. JP Morgan, of course, is already settled. They've already paid their fine. So from what I understand, the RICO Act is being used, and I think it's great because that means maybe, just maybe, they're going to have some accountability.
Do you know where all that could lead?
Maybe this could lead to changing the whole thing because the game is rigged, the rules are skewed, and maybe, just maybe, they'll make it fair. I hope Gary Gensler's watching.
What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
The irony of all this, folks, is they're talking about the RICO Act in relation to JP Morgan and all these Wall Street brokers. The irony is they need to apply the RICO Act to the SEC. The freaking RICO Act needs to be turned on our government so that they can hold them accountable for what's going on, because the SEC is no different than Goldman and JP Morgan. It's all the same people. That's how awful this has all gotten. Now, check this out. This is an interesting thread right here. This guy put out this thread. It said Jed McCaleb and JP Morgan Chase have been behind. Now, I'm not saying he's right. I'm just showing you what he said. Jed McCaleb and JP Morgan Chase have been behind all the crypto manipulation for years. Neither investigated or formally implicated. Both know are the Satoshi Nakamoto group 100%. 1. Mt. Gox disaster, JP Morgan, Jed McCaleb. 2. Ethgate, JP Morgan, Consensus and Friends. 3. XRP sales, Jed McCaleb. And I said, what if JP Morgan was Jed McCaleb's buyer? Because remember, folks, and then there's this. Folks, pay attention. Pay attention. Mt. Gox, creditors of defunct, right in the middle of this market pullback, creditors of defunct crypto exchange Mt. Gox are closer to getting repaid, a trustee letter says. The disbursement could put pressure on Bitcoin. And then there was this. Ran Nooner tweets this out. I'm assuming he's talking about 150,000 Bitcoin. The 150,000 Mt. Gox Bitcoin being released into the market is a huge deal. These hodlers have held these since less than $500, and many of them will sell at $20K. Even if only 50% sell, that is as many as Luna on the market. There's potentially double that. This would cause a massive crash. But if you think about the previous tweet I showed you about, think about this. Here, I'll show it to you just as a reminder. This is a screenshot. This is the Wayback Machine. I showed it to you the other day. This proves JP Morgan was the bank. They were the bank for Mt. Gox, folks. There was hundreds of millions of dollars going through Mt. Gox. That is not the kind of account that you just don't know about. It's just not. So if they've got hundreds of millions of dollars going through JP Morgan at Mt. Gox, and here we are, let's think about this for a minute. I'll put it this way. If I wanted to really tank the crypto markets, but I wanted to do it when I was ready to do it, you know what I would do? I would be like the trustee of Mt. Gox, and I would just sit back and hold all these 150,000 Bitcoins until just the right time, and then release them on the market. Isn't that how you would do it if you really wanted to crash this market at the right time? Man, there is so much shady stuff going on right now, it's not even funny. Gary Gensler being at the center of it, because nothing he's doing is the right thing. It's all the wrong thing, the exact opposite of what you would be doing if you were doing the right thing that made sense by these investors you claim to care so much about protecting. SEC Chair Gary Gensler, power grab over the digital asset ecosystem, strangling, this is from the Financial Services Committee, GOP, strangling American financial innovation. Instead of attacking innovators, he should focus on the SEC's statutory mission, including capital formation. And this guy, who's been living on a desert island apparently, says the SEC's number one mission to protect investors, and that's what he's doing. John Deaton says, I'm not sure what you're paying attention to, but I can assure you he isn't even remotely protecting investors unless your definition of investors means the incumbent bankers and hedge fund managers. It certainly isn't individual investors. And then Brad Garlinghouse weighs in, CEO of Ripple. Wall Street Journal writes, Mr. Gensler's blockade is counterproductive if his aim is to protect investors. If that doesn't call for congressional action to stop Chair Gensler's preferred method of regulation by enforcement, I'm not sure what does. Looks like we've got a class action lawsuit against Solana. Solana was on my list of things to buy, but I decided against it. There's too much circling Solana right now, so I'm staying away from that. I have taken that one off of my list. Okay, then today, Federal Reserve remarks by Vice Chair Brainerd on crypto assets and decentralized finance through a financial stability lens. And so yesterday we had the Treasury come out, and then today we have the Federal Reserve. Crypto's here to stay, folks. And this is from the Federal Reserve. Despite significant investor losses, the crypto financial system does not yet appear to be so large or so interconnected with the traditional financial system as to pose a systemic risk. So they need to come in and save us all and protect us all before, and trust me, their Wall Street buddies will be right there with them to protect us all, to store your crypto, hence capturing this new asset class, which is what they were going to do all along, which is what I've been saying for over 4 years. I'm a digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that this industry is here to stay. Wall Street and the government just wants to control it, as usual.